Do I need to say anything? Do I really need to say anything? What a crazy, incredible win by the Miami Dolphins. By no way, shape, or form should the Miami Dolphins have won this game. When we go over the stats, you're gonna be like, how? Just how? But yeah, the Miami Dolphins defeated the Buffalo Bills, 19-21, right there, dropping the Bills to 2-1. Dolphins improved to 3-0. Right now, hold control of the AFC East, 3-0. Bills 2-1. New York and New England both 1-2. What a game! What a game! Um, packed stadium filled with both Dolphins and Bills fans. And then on top of that, just the atmosphere was crazy. The game itself, roller coaster of emotions. From start to finish, you were on your toes. As tight as the game was, it was electric how it went back and forth, and both teams just fought to the very end from start to finish. It was a thriller, honestly. All right, let's get into some team stats first to put things in perspective. All right, total yards: Buffalo Bills 497, Miami Dolphins 212. That means 212 total yards of offense from the Miami Dolphins. Not the best look, but the scoreboard proves otherwise. The Bills did have a turnover. Time of possession, this is probably the craziest one. Buffalo Bills dominated the time of possession. 40 minutes, 40 seconds to the Dolphins. 19 minutes, 20 seconds. Bills first downs, 31. Miami, 15. Guys, I remember I told you in the pregame, the game preview, Dolphins need to throw the ball around. Couldn't do it. Could not do it. Even with the depleted secondary that Buffalo had, still couldn't do it. We're going to go over some of the scoring summary. Bills open up their drive, a 2-yard touchdown, Devin Singletary, which was scored with 9 minutes left in the first quarter. Dolphins follow it back with a Chase Edmonds touchdown with 3 minutes, 37 seconds. Following that, we have Bills' second quarter touchdown with essentially the beginning of the second quarter to Isaiah McKenzie, 8-yard touchdown. And then the Dolphins touchdown to River Craycraft with 6 minutes, 54 seconds remaining. Third quarter, Buffalo Bills scored a field goal. And the difference was the Dolphins scored a touchdown in the fourth quarter, 3-yard Chase Edmonds touchdown. Follow that up with a safety. I wanted the safety to happen. Just did not expect it in the way it came about. But that is what it is, and that's how the game went. We'll go over more of the stats to kind of give you more of a play-by-play analysis of it, but touchdown, Dolphins punt, fumble, and Dolphins touchdown, Bills touchdown, Dolphins touchdown, punt, end of half. Punt, field goal, punt, missed field goal, touchdown, turnover on downs, safety, end of game. God, every possession mattered. Every play mattered. It was tooth and nail, just straightforward. All right, let's go over some stats. Josh Allen had a pretty good game. 42 completions for 63 attempts, 400 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, sacked 4 times for a loss of 18 yards, which, honestly, going into this game, Josh Allen did not get so much pressure throughout these first 2 games. Big difference when it came to this matchup against the Miami Dolphins. Tua, 13 of 18. Couldn't really throw the ball much, but was efficient when he did it. 186 yards, 1 touchdown, sacked once for a loss of 7 yards. Teddy Bridgewater got in. Yes, Teddy Bridgewater played a couple snaps, had 2 attempts, no completion, sacked for a loss of 18 yards. Teddy came in because Tua got concussed. Not going to say very loud, but Tua did get a concussion, somehow managed to come back in the game like freaking Undertaker, just rising from the dead. And possibly might have been the difference maker in this game, because if not, Dolphins would have been dead in the water with Teddy. No offense to Teddy, just no way the Dolphins were going to move the ball. They barely moved the ball with Tua. You weren't going to move the ball with Teddy. And then also Skylar Thompson was out. All right, rushing. Josh Allen, extended plays, made first downs with his legs. 8 carries, 47 yards was Buffalo's leading rusher with 19 on his longest run. Zach Moss, 4 carries, 46 yards. Devin Singletary, 9 carries, 13 yards. Isaiah McKenzie and James Cook both had a carry. McKenzie had one for 6 yards, and James Cook had one for 3 yards. Miami Dolphins, not crazy rushing yards. 41 total. It was abysmal. I mean, this rushing game for the Miami Dolphins is not there, and I don't think it will be there anytime soon. That being said, Chase Edmonds, 6 carries, 21 yards, 2 touchdowns. Longest was 8 yards. Raheem Mostert, 8 carries, 11 yards. Jalen Waddle, 1 carry, 9 yards. Alec Ingold and Tua both had carries for no gain. Receiving, Devin Singletary was the leading receiver for the Buffalo Bills. 9 receptions, 78 yards, 1 touchdown. Longest was 22. Isaiah McKenzie, 7 receptions, 76 yards, 1 touchdown. Longest was 27. Stephon Diggs, 7 receptions, 74 yards. Longest was 28. One of those, right out the gates, you can beg to differ. It probably was a fumble. You can barely see the contact that supposedly Xavier Howard made on Stephon Diggs. It is what it is. End of the day, Dolphins escaped with a W. Let's move forward. Gabe Davis, 3 receptions, 37 yards. Same thing for James Cook, but with 4 receptions. Dawson Knox, 4 receptions, 25 yards. And then we have Reggie Gilman, Quinton Morris, Jake Kumaro, Jamison Crowder, and Zach Moss all had 1 to 2 receptions, really helping out this Buffalo team. And a lot of these receptions, Dolphins were getting pressure, couldn't bring Josh Allen down, dumped off. A lot of these guys got a lot of those passes. Dolphins, Jalen Waddle eclipsed 100 yards once again this week. 4 receptions, 102 yards. Longest was 45, which was a beauty of play. Insane. Tyreek Hill, 2 receptions, 33 yards. Darren Smythe, 3 receptions, 23 yards. River Craycraft, 11-yard touchdown. Mike Gesicki, 1 reception for 6 yards. Chase Edmonds, 1 reception for 6. And Trent Sherfield, 1 reception for 5. Raheem Mostert and Alec Ingold were both targeted. Raheem Mostert got targeted twice. Alec Ingold dropped a beauty of a play. I know it wouldn't have been a touchdown, but definitely dropped like a play that could have helped out the Dolphins starting out the gates, but is what it is. Let's get to fumbles. Josh Allen had 3 fumbles, lost 1, recovered 1. Jamison Crowder also fumbled. He recovered it as well. It was off of a punt, and it literally bounced right into his hands. It was crazy. Spencer Brown recovered a fumble, and then Melvin Ingram also recovered a fumble, which was a huge strip sack by the Miami Dolphins, really setting up that first touchdown that really propelled the Dolphins back into this game, because otherwise Buffalo could have really just ran away with this game. All right, we're going to go to Buffalo's defense. Terrion Johnson had 6 total tackles, 3 solo. Jaquan Johnson, 5 total, 3 solo. Tremaine Edmonds, 5 solo, 3 solo. And then we'll get into some key stats. Matt Milano had a pass deflection and technically a QB hit and almost took 2 out of the game 100%. Jamar Hamlin had a half a sack, along with Greg Russo had a sack and a half. Both of them had a tackle for a loss. Greg Russo had 2. Let's keep it moving. Von Miller had a pass deflection, and so did Boogie Basham. Aside from that, no key stats defensively for the Bills. Jerome Baker was the leading tackler for the Miami Dolphins. He was all over the field. 13 total tackles, 9 solo, half a sack, a tackle for a loss, pass deflection, QB hit. You know I gotta stop or what? Javion Holland, 10 total tackles, 9 solo, 1.5 sacks, 2 pass deflections, 1 QB hit. Man, if Javion Holland would have came down with that interception, huge. It would have been huge. Yes, there was a play that Javion Holland almost came away with an interception. Brandon Jones, 9 total, 6 solo, 1 pass deflection. And then let's get into some key stats. Xavier Howard, 2 pass deflections. Nick Needham with a pass deflection. Melvin Ingram, 2 sacks, 1 tackle for a loss, 2 QB hits. Andrew Van Ginkel, QB hit. Jalen Phillips had a pass deflection and a tackle for a loss. Emmanuel Ogbah, 4 QB hits. And then Kean Crossan had 1 pass deflection. This defense really MVP of the game, honestly. Jamison Crowder had 1 return for 17 yards on kick returns. Raheem Mostert had 3 returns for 54 yards. Longest was 23. Jamison Crowder had a punt return for three total, 32 yards. Longest was 14. Tyler Bass went 1 of 2 for field goals. Big, big, big. 2 for 2 on extra points. Jay Sanders went 3 for 3 on extra points. Sam Martin had 1 punt for 31 yards. Thomas Morstead had 4 punts, 219 yards total. 2 were in the 20, longest was 60, and you can include a safety in that. Now, with all that said, let's talk about the game. What a game it was. From start to finish, the Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills were just at odds. No way to go around it. You go, I go, you go, you go, I go, I go, I go. It literally was just, the Bills should have dominated this game. But the Miami Dolphins defense really kept them in there. I know they gave up a lot of kind of dink and dunks and allowing Josh Allen to escape, especially on key downs like third down. But the final scoreboard says it all. Miami Dolphins improved 3-0. Bills dropped down to 2-1. Power rankings about to shift. Buffalo has been number 1 since the season started. It's the most points they've allowed all season. I know it's 3 games. I'm not trying to get too ahead of myself, but huge game by the Miami Dolphins. Now, some concerns. Tua probably has a concussion. Somehow he managed to find his way back into the game. I hope he's all good. I hope he can, recover really well, especially in a short turnaround that is this week 4 coming up with a Thursday Night Football against the Bengals. That being said, defense played well. Offense was very lackluster. I understand that stint that Tua went out, it was not very well at all. Did not look good. But there was key plays. Like, I believe it was a 3rd or 4th down throw from Tua to Waddle. Put us in the red zone. Ended up scoring off of that drive. Huge play. Huge play. All right. I said a couple keys to victory. Now, first one was put pressure on Josh Allen. 4 sacks, I think you do that. And then on top of that, just they were able to get in the backfield and make Josh Allen think twice about making a certain play. Make him escape. I'll take that all day. If it gives you this result, I'll take that all day. It was a little bit scary at times, but the Dolphins found a way. Now, when you include that, Stephon Diggs, he was a top 3. 7 receptions, 74 yards. 20 was the longest, which was the opening drive. I'll take that. Stephon Diggs is one of the premier wide receivers in the league, and if you tell me that the Dolphins limited him to less than 100 yards, I'm telling you crazy. They did. Offensively, protect Tua, unfortunately didn't happen. And I don't know if it was his own doing, if it was offensive line, if it was, just a situational thing. I think it's more of a situational thing. He rolled out a pocket, he extended a play, and Matt Milano just gets a little tap on him. Unfortunately, Whip lashes his head back onto the floor. Comes out of the game, comes back in. Now they're investigating the Miami Dolphins for possible, malpractice when it comes to Tua. Hopefully everything goes well there. We'll see what happens and advance from there. But yeah, Tua, as much as he was protected, he was only sacked for once for a loss of 7 yards, but he was hit a couple times. But it was not an easy game offensively for the Miami Dolphins. I said one of the game keys to victory was attacking the secondary. Couldn't do that. They were selling out for the run, which I understand why the Dolphins tried running the ball so much, but pressure them. Pressure that secondary. They're depleted, and I wanted to see more of a passing attack from this Miami Dolphins team. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case, but like I said, end result is everything. Running game, tried getting involved, couldn't do it. We couldn't hold on to the ball for the longest time. I know it wasn't a lot of turnovers, but time of possession is a big thing in this game. When I go over the team stats in general, the game cast and recap, whatever it may be, the game cast, it literally says total yards. The Miami Dolphins have 200 less yards than the Buffalo Bills. They have a third of time of possession. A half of the first downs that the Bills have, and yet still managed to get this win, which was utterly insane. Okay? What does this mean for the Miami Dolphins? It means you're 2-0 in your division. It Means you're 3-0 against AFC opponents. This is a good start to this Miami Dolphins team in their current season. Where do they go from here? Short week, short turnaround. Hopefully everything is well with Tua and the rest of the team. There were a few injuries here and there. Xavier Howard was dealing with cramps. Unfortunately, you don't want to see that. But he was able to find his way back into the game as well. Where do we go from here? Short turnaround week. Forget about this game. This game's over and done with. What's next? The Cincinnati Bengals, reigning AFC champions. They're not looking so good right now. They started off 0-2. They finally got a win against the New York Jets. Thank God. I did not want to face the Cincinnati team without them having a win under their belt, because they would have pulled out all the stops, especially on prime video, against the Miami Dolphins. So, thankfully, they got a win. Not saying they're not as hungry as they must have been beforehand, but it definitely softens the blow, and the Bengals are a little bit satisfied right now. So, yeah, Miami Dolphins need to just turn things around quick, make sure everyone's good, and go into Cincinnati with us or nobody mentality. This game left a lot of questions unanswered. Protection, I wouldn't say is one of them. Defense is a little bit faulty, but in the moments that it matters, key downs, they're there, and they make big plays. On top of that, just they need to get to the quarterback more. Bring him down. Joe Burrow is going to be a little bit of an easier quarterback to bring down than Josh Allen. Josh Allen can extend plays a lot more than I would say Joe Burrow does. So, offensively, simple. Protect Tua. Get the wide receivers involved early and often. This is something that the Dolphins struggled with in this game. Establish run. Run needs to be a little bit more dominant. Run is not there where the Dolphins want it right now. So, it is what it is. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys enjoyed the dub. And yeah, I sprinkled in a little bit of video from the game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.